So many great faces. Awesome to see y'all. I'm going to give it just a second, let everyone roll into the room. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome in, you guys. My name's Alicia Shepherd. I'm the MAPS head coach for all things commercial real estate. And I am really excited today to be bringing a conversation around how the communities inside KW can help grow and potentially create additional revenue streams in your business in 2023 and in the years to come. Before we dive in, while we give it just a second more for people to jump in the room because it's still loading up, love to take a moment and just say, as we're here on December 30th, right at the end of the year, feeling warm and grateful for everything that we've gotten to enjoy and celebrate in 2022 and for what's coming in 2023, I'd love to hear 3 shares from the group. What are moments that you've seen this week where culture showed up in your market center, in your business, in maybe your transactions, or inside your team? You can just unmute yourself and share it, or drop it in the chat if you're not able to be off of microphone. We'll take 3 shares. So I have a fun fact about myself for you guys. For those of you who haven't met me before, I'll wait until we have 3 shares about culture, because our culture is so amazing about this company. And it's a huge part of why we get the opportunity to be Keller Williams and to be who we are inside KW. So who would like to share around where culture has shown up in their business this week, or something that you're seeing gratitude for in your business this week?
Fine. I can't handle the silence.
Alex. Oh, it's awesome. Welcome in, Alex. Let's go, man.
You win. Okay, you win. Hey, so what I had the other day, which was kind of nice, I had a newer agent, and she's probably less than 2 years in it. She came up to me and asked how could she help grow the market center. She wanted to actively help with the downline stuff. And then she goes to tell me that her previous world was a recruiter, really wanted to help with career nights, and it was awesome, great. So we did so a lot of the schools are doing online kind of appointments still, where you get to go on there and do your spiel for 5 minutes. So I asked her, hey, what do you say me and you do that, and I'll just interview you as a new agent. So I did that. Instead of me giving a whole spiel about call me, we're the best, I just interviewed her and kind of her story a little bit for 5 minutes. I got the best response from that from agents. They thought that was awesome because they got to hear from a real agent and how much she loved Keller Williams. And then I ended the whole thing with, you know what? I didn't even ask her to do that. She volunteered to come in and talk to you guys. And everybody was just like, oh, that was great. So that was a big win, that she came, she wanted to help. And then using her in that, it was received very well with the school recruits. That was awesome.
That is awesome. Great job, Alex. What it says too is there's got to be something going on right in the culture in your market center for someone to feel like they could raise their hand and say, I want to help more with this. I want to help create this. That's really awesome. Becca, I love this in the chat. Someone on my team helped me find a home for my sister-in-law's beloved animals after she passed. I'm so sorry. I told her she's a realtor extraordinaire for finding a home for a bearded dragon, which is a lizard. That's very cool. That's not an easy pet to find a home for, I imagine. Incredible. All right, you guys, one more share. Sat in on a weekly lead generation meeting. Awesome to hear different views on that shared experience for the new marketing guy. That's awesome, Ethan. Thank you for sharing that. I'll tell you what, you guys, anytime we just slow down and feel and acknowledge the culture that's inside this company and the opportunities we're helping each other in this business shows up, we're all winning when we take a moment for that. So today we're gonna start off by really being clear. First off, what do I mean when I say communities? And I'm going to introduce you to the 13 existing communities inside KW. Rumor has it there's some new ones coming in 2023 as well, which is exciting. And hopefully, as I kind of break down this recipe or model for you today, you see it as a path to keep an eye out for new communities and just mimic and match what we deploy today. We'll go through what the 3 different opportunity paths for you are, and then here's some masterminding or thoughts around what you're seeing and feeling that you could do inside your business with these communities. And then lastly, I'm going to give you the exact, what is the first step to build the foundation should you choose to turn on a community inside your business in 2023 or in the years ahead, so that you've got the most stable foundation possible and are set up for success. So let's dive in first. Communities inside Keller Williams is really where we are looking for you to find your people, to go into niche understanding of specific areas inside the real estate game, and really to build not just like a community of relationships, but a community of support, of best practices, of how-tos, and of lessons learned that can go forward into your business. The 13 communities we have currently, you guys, this will be in the recording after, but you might want to write some of these down, especially the ones that perk your ears up a little bit, right? The first is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that specific community is really amazing. This is led by Julia Lachey, and it's such a vital community because as homeownership becomes more and more diverse, and I work in commercial real estate, so I'll even say as investment real estate, commercial real estate becomes more and more diverse. It's so important that we know as brokers and agents how to meet the changing needs of a consumer day to day. Putting diversity, equity, and inclusion at the forefront of your business will not only ensure professional growth and success for yourself, but it's going to empower the communities that you live in and that you serve. Julia Lachey is leading this community. She's a force of a leader, incredible to work under and work with. This community has several different courses that you can take, and 2 of them are 100% free. I can't invite you enough to go check these out. One is the Color of Real Estate. Color of Real Estate takes an in-depth look at the history of government practices that have contributed to the home ownership gaps that we see today. You'll learn basics of implementing diverse business strategies that ensure fair housing for all, as well as detecting unconscious biases that may impact your real estate career. Then you go to the next level, and this is unconscious bias in real estate. It delves into how the brain unconsciously produces bias and how these unconscious biases may be impacting your business. You'll learn how to become more aware of your behaviors, and that'll empower you to be more intentional about your actions. Now, both of those courses are free. When you want to go a level deeper and you say, I want to actually get a certification, they have this one called Agent of Distinction, and this is the KW Diversity Certification. It's developed by KW with renowned leaders of inclusion, and this diversity certification, Agent of Distinction, covers a breadth of topics on diversity and inclusion to help you meet the needs and expectations of the modern client. The online self-paced certification will give you the resources and tools that you need to attract a diverse client base and create a strong, sustainable business. Now, I had an agent in the commercial space say, Alicia, why would that be important? And I had him inspect over the last year, who did you do business with? And he realized that he had this very defined avatar for what his average client looked like. And I said, now what community are you in? He practices in Chicago. And I said, do you believe that that's the average demographic of the greater population? Or are you maybe niched down in such a way that you're not being inclusive in your business? And he got into this program, and he was able to step back and realize that he did have some biases that were showing up. He did have just a set database that was who he knew, and who he knew wasn't very collaborative or collective. And so it really transformed his business this year. This is probably one of the communities I can openly and easily say every single member of KW should be involved in some form or fashion with. Get into these courses. Nothing helps grow your business more than expanding your mindset, your understanding of how to be a more collaborative human being. And they've done an incredible job building that out inside this. The next community is KW Land. This is led by Ben Clark and Josh Trosper. They have a very large team out of North Texas, and they are one of the largest land teams in the country, selling across Texas and Oklahoma. In the land division, this is really designed for people that are working with large parcels of land. We see a lot of farm and ranch, a lot of master plan developments, a lot of rural agents find their community here. And it's not just community, it's learning experiences as well as tools and resources that help you in the land area. Part of this membership helps create a mastery in land. So they'll teach you in training series around specifically agricultural land, timberland, ranch, recreational land, equestrian estates, land development, hunting land, and the other niche specialties that go alongside it. In 2021 alone, we saw the value of farms increase by 7%. In 2022, we saw that accelerate another huge jump. We don't have the final numbers as we finish out the year, But with the land clients and the land brokers that I've worked with, they've seen growth as high as 20% in their average list price this year. So if you're in a market where there is farm and ranch, maybe there is land for development or hunting or timber, this type of community could be where you start to find the tools, the resources, and the knowledge you need to go really into that space effectively. Now, the next one, I'm pretty biased toward because I'm one of the 2 leaders of that community, and that is KW Commercial. We are actually a brokerage platform designed for a full-time commercial broker. So our membership includes a training series, 80 hours of base level, everything you'd need to know in your first 2 years of commercial real estate with our Nucleus partnership. You get a CRM or a platform tool similar to Command, but in the commercial space called RealNext that will support your commercial business. Unfortunately, commercial properties don't work very well in Command because the data that we need and the points that we track are slightly different. You also have a huge community, a national training calendar. We're about 2,400 members nationally right now. And what's really great inside this is, let's say you're thinking, I want to get into commercial. I've done a few commercial deals, but man, I feel deal by deal, I'm having to learn at the client's expense. Inside KW Commercial, we're building and developing and delivering the tools that help ensure that doesn't have to be the case any longer. You're able to really jump in and learn authentically the best practices of commercial real estate. Now, next to KW Commercials, KW Luxury. With Luxury, many of you guys may already be Luxury members. What does it take to qualify to be Luxury? It's an earn-in model currently, and to be considered for the earn-in model, you have to close a minimum of 4 transactions in the previous 24 months in the luxury threshold set up by your regional leadership. What that means, it's in the top 10% of transactions inside your region, and it ideally is above 700,000. Although if your region, the top 10% is lower than that, then your region has set that. This community is led by Brady Sandall and Carolyn Huo. They offer masterminds, they offer trainings, they've got full branding and toolkits, a client-facing magazine, a referral community, which you're going to see today. All of these communities have a huge referral backbone to them. You get monthly social media toolkits, luxury performance updates and trends. They've got elevated marketing and brand assets just for luxury members. And then commercial, land, and luxury, all 3 have their own symposiums every year as well. The next community, and I know I'm going through these kind of quick, guys, we're going to just grab the ones that are grabbing your ear. We're going to talk about how you get intentional with them in a moment, is KW Military. Did you know 1 in every 5 home buyers are military? It's a staggering number. And inside KW, they actually found that huge portions of our members and of our agents are attached to one of those military families, be it as a serving member, a veteran, a family member of a veteran, maybe a spouse. And so they found that through building this community, they were actually able to create an enhanced referral network through Command affiliation with this network. They actually have a full MAPS coaching program just for these agents. There's custom tools and training around how to lean in and use this affiliation to actually create a larger referral business and to attract your same community into your business to be of service to them in their home buying experience. The next one we have is, just lost my track, is New Homes. New Homes is a community that focuses with how to go in and become the agent that dominates in the markets where there is a new home development tract for both negotiating with the developer to deliver these homes and to be involved in the sales of these homes. When you're in this, they have additional courses that are available for you. There's a library of pre-recorded and training course videos. There's course content released monthly. And then you also have access to exclusive family reunion and mega camp events as a community member with New Homes. From there, we're going to go into one of our newer communities, which is KW Real Estate Planner. This is led by Dan Ahara, and this is a really great community if you're looking to help families and homeowners think strategically in the planning that they have alongside their real estate, both for residential and investment properties. When you become a real estate planner, they're going to lean you in to actively setting your business apart and utilizing advanced knowledge gained from expert global community leaders. In this, you're going to learn how to create strategic property plans and better position yourself to receive referrals from your local market center as a trusted advisor, as well as from CPAs, financial planners, trust attorneys, retirement communities, care homes, case managers, right? In an age where there's huge portions of homeownership that are aging into the next phase, these are important relationships to have. So if you're hearing that one, you think your referral line in your business, your referral leads could use a little bit of a boost, this might be the right community for you to consider. Next, we're going to actually pivot over to relocation. Now, this is led by MAPS coach Christina Gribben. She has Liz Parker and Tammy Chevalier alongside her, and they actually focus on creating a community around you that knows how to work with relocations. They have customized training opportunities for agents looking to take their careers to new levels. It's specialized in relocation sales and purchases as a KW relocation leader. You gain access to new leads through this program with their relocation homes market. They elevate your career with expert training resources designed just around relocation. Relocation services market has seen a 1.2 growth in 2022 alone. So this is something we're starting to see as people move out of urban epicenters and maybe out into secondary and tertiary markets because that's where their jobs are giving them the ability to go. Then this is a place that would show you how to take advantage of that, how to ensure that you're positioned and you have the know-how to actually, my video went off for some reason, to actually be able to engage with these clients and get in front of these opportunities. Next one we have is sports and entertainment. Just show of hands, who on the call today is already in a community? You can just raise your digital hand. A couple of you guys. I see the relocation background there for Kim Johnson. That's awesome. So sports and entertainment is a pretty cool one. This one really focuses on helping you be positioned to work with the professional athletes, musicians, or artists that represent an upper echelon of real estate clientele. Many times this goes hand in hand with commercial or luxury or relocation. Breaking into this exclusive sector and using it as your competitive differentiator is something that is difficult to do. The KW Sports and Entertainment membership is your opportunity to acquire, refine, and expand this unique skill set, and provides valuable resources to help you grow your network while developing your personal brand. What they do inside this is actually lead top tier training that shows you how to position your brand, your messaging, your behavior, your database, so that you're pointed into these niche communities. They have virtual trainings as well as mastermind events. They have private social media channels for agents and industry connections. There's networking opportunities with industry professionals, both in sports and entertainment. And then they have exclusive events at pro college sporting events, concerts, and things like that as well. This is co-led by Jordan Stewart and Jason Ross. Keep an eye out for these guys. They're doing some really cool things, and the members inside these communities are starting to see some really cool lead funnels be developed so that leads are coming through that top funnel directly into the members that are portions of these communities. Next one we have is Style to Design. This one is led by Heather Kane. Kelly Roderick is also involved with that. And this is one, if I were a residential agent, I was looking at my business and I said, I want to up my game. I want to start mastering how to have great staging and great branding and be able to be more consultative in the process of how to get someone's home ready to sell for top dollar. This is a community I wouldn't sleep on, because it's going to show you how to do what sometimes takes agents years and thousands of dollars to figure out. The Style to Design membership really works to make sure that your staging and your design for your business is almost in a box. You'll get access to benefits that other companies just don't match. They don't just give you the marketing and say, here you go have fun with it. They train you with an education series on how to use it. They have monthly masterminds, social media marketing resources that you get. And that includes things like 40 new fresh design boards every single month with what's trending and what's not, so you can consult your clients directly with it. Access to social media templates every single month that you can use inside your business. It's incredible, right? They've also got a full like on-demand education series, and you get access to updated staging checklists for every single room of the house. This is a great community if you know that you're ready to kind of like level up that consultative portion of your business, right? Next one we're going to dive into, there's two more, and then we're going to start talking about how do you use these, how do you benefit from these, is KW Talent. Talent is led by Liz Landry. See, when the MREA was written, it gave the original roadmap to become a millionaire by selling real estate and building leverage around you. This community was designed to give you the tools to go from being an agent to a leader to the owner of the largest real estate business inside your area. What they do is they really create an atmosphere and a community where the leaders who are struggling on growing from solo agent to large team growth can foster and mastermind those skills that are necessary to move from a leader to a large business owner. And that's going to include in-person workshops that are designed for really working on our core leadership of teams and how we lead others. It's got an exclusive video library with training tutorials, testimonials, and other important content for you. It's got monthly recorded virtual masterminds and topic-driven sessions to keep members focused. And then it also has a Facebook-only group where you're able to get into that and actually ask questions of one another and hive mind what the best practices you're coming up with. Now, last but not least, we have KW Wealth. Just raise your digital hand or your physical hand if you've been to the Wealth Seminar so far. Anyone check that out? If you haven't gotten to the KW Wealth event at KWRI, I want you to put that on your growth plan for 2023. I walked into that room expecting, I work in commercial real estate. I've traded hundreds of thousands and hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate. And when I got into that workshop, I thought I knew everything that was going to be shared. And the way that they looked at not just creating wealth, but sheltering wealth, making sure your wealth is being cross-leveraged for you, was incredible. I don't care how experienced you are at wealth building, wealth creation, wealth preservation, there's definitely something to learn in this room. And the people that are in the room that you're able to find opportunities with and walk out of that room with are incredible. We were able to start an entirely new lending line off of a relationship we met inside that room. So I can't recommend it enough. It's an incredible experience. With KW Wealth, there's two different ways you can engage in the community. There's the basic community membership. This has weekly live trainings to learn and execute the 7 pillars of wealth. You get full access to the KW Wealth training library, private access to KW Wealth workshops, strategic support as you implement your wealth plan. The wealth plan, by the way, is how do you get to a $50 million net worth? Incredible goal. And it also has personalized investment deal analysis as you launch and execute your wealth plan. If you want to go even higher and get into a mastermind with that, that's $1,000 a month. And that gets you access to national wealth sponsorships, helpful podcast episodes, exciting promotional merchandise, also gives you optimized additional lanes of revenue, shows you how to grow investment cash flow through exciting and new opportunities, and helps you explore tax mitigation, asset, personal, and self-management techniques. Incredible. Now, if I've gone through all 13 of these communities and you're still like, Alicia, there's not one there for me, I want you to take a moment and pause and ask the question, where was the largest missed opportunity in your business in 2022? Where was something that you feel you could have taken advantage of if you just had one more piece of knowledge or a little bit more leverage, a little bit of a different team structure, someone else on the bench? If you had a different database, if you had a different referral partner. And when we ask that question, we're likely going to come up with the answer, well, I could have done blank. And one of these communities likely holds the solve. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go feet first into the water to go become a specialist in any of these communities. See, what I think is kind of a limiting belief that comes up around niche or specialization is that we have to go all or nothing into it. While that can be beneficial, for most real estate owners, there's additional opportunities. So what's the first way you could take advantage of a community? You could add on a division to your own business, just like Keller Williams has these divisions and communities, and make it an intentional silo, an intentional profit center, an intentional business arm inside your existing real estate business. That's the feet first in the water option. If that's not for you, that's okay. Breathe. I'm going to get you an option that is for you. The next would be you grow a referral opportunity. Maybe you heard one of these, like KW Land, KW Commercial, Sports and Entertainment, and you know that your personal database has the human beings that would create business in those silos, but you don't have the interest of chasing it yourself. That's okay. That's how do we now get purposeful about turning on a lead funnel inside your database to give referrals into those communities and create passive income for yourself that just essentially becomes mailbox money. Now, the third, and Alex, you might have someone in your market center for this, is using it as a recruitment tool. Whether you're in leadership or not, if you know agents inside these communities, we're really the only brokerage that has this much development, this much leadership, and this much conversation around the specialized practices that surround real estate. And what that means is the recruitment opportunity is massive. If you knew the value propositions of these communities and you were able to say, okay, I'm going to grow my profit share tree this year by recruiting to the communities, how much could you put into your downline? Great question in the chat. Where do we find the list of links? Here we go. All of the communities are here on communities.kw.com. And you'll see they all essentially are a recruitment page. Each of these pages tells you exactly what the cost is, who the leadership is, what the value propositions are, and how to engage. Some of them have costs associated, some of them do not. And you don't have to pick one, you could pick multiples. And so as we've gone through these, I want to play a little bit of a game to you. Let's pretend as if you heard one of these communities and said, I could build out an entire division of that in my business this year. I'm a commercial broker myself. I have 7 different clients that I coach who are residential, just powerhouses, massive teams that took 2022 to build their commercial division of their business. They realized they were giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars every year in commercial referrals, and they were 1 to 2 hires away from being able to build the foundation they needed to keep that business. Maybe you're hearing that for luxury or sports and entertainment. Maybe you know you need to grow your team and talent is for you. So let's just start with the exercise of pick one community for me. Drop it there in the chat. Let's see at least 5 shares. What community are you going to pick for today's exercise, you guys? Planner. Love that one, Susan. Sports and entertainment. That's great, Karen. Planner is really incredible, you guys. If you're like, I don't really have a big referral business, that's where I would start. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Yes, absolutely, Kendi. Talent, luxury, military. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we've got a couple of you guys that have pinpointed one. This is what I would do with it. Now, before we just run at it, we're going to plan around it. So what do you do in your own businesses when it's time to get ready? It's time to plan. It's time to build the goal of where we're going to go to. What's the first step? YP relocation. These are awesome. You guys can just chime in and shout it out or drop it in the chat. What's the first step you do in your business when you're ready to start going after a goal? 411. I'm going to back it up just a touch. Let's go to what gets us to the 411. Let's define the goal really, really clearly. So we're going to put a focusing question on this. In 2023, what intentionality and purpose will being a part of this community that you've identified create in your world? So for instance, if I were going to go into, let's say, sports and entertainment, and I'm going to think of it as a referral funnel for my commercial real estate business. My practice is based in Los Angeles and Austin. I'm definitely around sports and entertainment type personalities enough. I can make that work, right? Now I'm going to define why would I do it and what will it create? I want to create $75,000 of referral income back to me through that membership. And I'm going to use it in such a way that I can create that. Now I'm looking for a SMART goal, specific, measurable, attainable. I use repeatable for my R because once I hit it, I don't want to have to rebuild it again. So the way I define the goal and I engineer the goal must be repeatable. I want it to just hit that every single year moving forward. And the last is time-based. So we're going to define what we'll be intentional about with this community with a very clear goal. Anyone have a clear goal you would put around a community you want to share with the group? Keon, you look really focused. I think you have a clear goal around a community you would want to share with the group. Luxury, increased average transaction price in 2023, more commission for the agents. Love that, Ethan. Anyone else? I won't put anyone on the spot on it. Keon, I promise I'm not going to actually like pull you off mic to do it.
For me,
but what I would be, go ahead, Brenda.
I'm sorry. For me, it would be diversity and inclusion. And the reason I would want to get involved with them is to diversify my client list.
I love that. Can you get that really specific for me? Like, we're waking up on December 30th, 2023. What does your client list look like now because of your participation in that community?
It looks like maybe a little some commercial clients, maybe a little luxury in there as well, just to diversify my portfolio as it relates to clients in every area.
Love that. So we're looking at clients that maybe aren't just home buyers. We're expanding that database. I'll tell you, diversity and inclusion will flex your mind to make you think, how do I think of my database differently? How do I think of who's in that database differently? How do I go invite new people into it? Right? Love that. Love that. Clarity is going to be what puts the fuel on this fire, you guys. If you're really crystal clear on what being a portion of a community will do for you, you will make it work for you. If you're not, you'll go spend the money to be in that community. You're going to be in it for 90 days. And you'll be like, why am I spending this money? I'm not doing anything with it. So I want you to get a really clear plan. What will it do for you? Now, let's say, did I have anyone raise their hand and say, I'm going to build a whole new arm in my business? I'm going to create a division on my team. Okay, no hands up on that. Let's say that you've got your plan, you've got your clear goal. Now we need to get the GPS around it. GPS means we have our clear goal. We're going to define the priorities that go underneath it. It's no different than how we set up our existing business for success, right? But we're going to do this for the community we're going into. Now, you might have one priority, and that's fine. You might have three, and that's okay too. But you only are going to put on here what's absolutely vital. The way we determine that priority is vital is we say, on its own, it could get me to the goal. So if my example of I'm going to build a referral pipeline using sports and entertainment, and I'm going to make $75,000 in the next 12 months through that referral pipeline, what would probably have to be a priority I focus on? Maybe database building. I might need to make sure I have the people in my database lead gen funnels that are going to create that type of referral business to give. It might be lead generation. If I think I already have the contacts and they exist, I might need to just start picking up the phone and smiling and dialing. I might need to mail some letters. I might need to go to some networking events. If it's that I don't even know where to start, my priority might be education. And this is what I will tell you is probably the first step for any community you go into. Go learn before you run toward earning. Because most of these communities exist because there are specialized trainings, techniques, knowledge, tools that you have to understand to get into it, right? I'm a commercial real estate practitioner. I've never sold a house in my life. I pledge on my honor that I never will sell a house. One of you smiling faces get every referral for a home that I need to sell because I know that I don't know what I don't know about selling a house. I couldn't begin to hold an open house that would hold water against any of you guys, and saging absolutely blows my mind. This is a digital background for a reason, right? And so what I want you to understand about that is probably the same is true if we went into land and started to go sell land that's specialized for timber. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't even know what to look for to know that that land was specialized for timber. So if I'm going to get into land, I'm going to go learn what I need to know before I just start running to learn at the client's expense. Every single one of these communities has a platform of education and training, which is vital for our success to hit whatever that specific goal is. So whatever the GPS you put underneath the goal, probably make sure that learning first is on there. If you're coming to the commercial community, come find me. I'm your director of education and training. I'm very passionate about it. I'd love to make sure that you get connected with all of our training we have available. So we're going to build out this GPS. This is a no-brainer, right? What other tools would we maybe need to be successful in this, especially if we're looking for it to become a revenue earner inside our business? If it's not just a referral or a profit share arm, if I was turning it on for profit share, I'd probably get in the community and learn deeply about it. And then also go tether into Linda McKissick's training around lead generation for profit share and partner those two to go build one heck of a downline. If I'm building it for a referral business inside my thing, I probably need to educate my database. But if I'm building it onto my own business, I'm going to become specialized in it. A couple of you guys put up sports and entertainment or young professionals, relocation. I'm going to need to know how to stabilize this. What models would I need to make sure I understood in my business before I just ran at it? Someone take a shot at it. What do you think? It's in the MREA. I'll give you one and then you guys are going to fill in the other three. You ready? I know you're like, Alicia, it's almost New Year's. We're ready to slow down. We're not looking for pop questions today. You need a budget model. You need to understand how much you'll spend on this, how you'll hold it accountable to be financially profitable inside your world. Otherwise, you get to the end of 2023 and you're like, I spent all this money on this membership and all these tools and I overinvested in something that did not return me profit. Can't have that. That's not allowable. So start off in our foundation. We've got our GPS that will parlay into your 411. You're going to have a budget model. You're going to consult with the community you join and ask them, what should my budget model for this look like? What are the tools and investments I need to get into? And what are the shiny bells and distractions that I could accidentally overspend on when lead generation could have been my solve? What is true about most of these niche practices in real estate is that many of them have very expensive tools that go alongside them, specifically land, commercial, luxury. There are very expensive tools that go alongside these, and some of them are necessary, some of them are not. So without a budget model and understanding what the vital toolkit is and how you'll hold it accountable to results, you could overspend very quickly. So we want a budget model in place. If we know the budget model is one of our 4 tools we're going to have, what else would we have?
You're going to have an organizational model as far as, do you have the whole infrastructure to make it happen, like with the foreclosure, for instance, or, bank properties? So.
Absolutely. If you're going to bring on one of these specialized niches inside your business as an actual product line, you've got to have the leverage to support it. And that means you need people who know how to play in these spaces. I'll use an example. One of my coaching clients who's a residential agent, it's Dylan Suter. He's up in Canada. He brought on a full commercial team. But he didn't just say, hey, dear admin and marketing support that are on the residential side, you're just going to come over here and the same services will work for both. It's a whole different vernacular, whole different toolkit, different strengths. The career visioning process would teach me it's a different person sitting in that seat for it to be successful than it would be on the residential side. And so your org chart, understanding what that will look like, how it parlays and works with your existing business is going to be a vital step. Otherwise, we make mess, not growth. Economic model, Christina, you're getting the game now. Economic model. How much lead generation do we need to throw into this funnel to get to the result that I need? Now, here's what is a limiting belief around these. And I face it in commercial all the time. I have agents that come to me. I'm going to grab my red book so I can give you the full display. They come and they go, Alicia, I'm a commercial agent. This book does me no good. And I go, okay, let's open it up. Let's look at the economic model. You create leads? Yeah, I create leads. You take listings? Yeah, I take listings. Okay. And you move those listings to pending or under contract? Yeah, I do that. And you sell them? Yep, sure do that too. You work with buyers? I do that. Okay. And you put those buyers under contract? I do that. You sell those properties? Do that. The models work the same in all of the communities. There is not a different model. These are not the millionaire residential real estate agent. This model, these systems work across any of these communities. The model doesn't change. Maybe the vernacular a little bit. If I'm in maybe land and I have a specialization, or community or commercial, and I have a specialization, I might change the language a touch, but the path and the math is the exact same. So we're going to put that economic model to know exactly how much lead generation do we have to do to get to the result. Now that economic model, I may not need a budget model if I'm using it for building my profit share downline. I might if I'm going to spend money to go do that. Same with referral business. The economic model I probably need for all three of these. So think about that and really ask the question, what would I need to track through the economic model to get to the result that I'm looking for? Now there's one more. We've gone through budget. We've gone through org chart. We've gone through economic. There's one more, you guys. It's my favorite one.
Lead generation.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Brenda, that's it. We're looking for our lead generation model. Now, this might have a little bit of an adaptation from what you see in the MREA or in the models that we see on KW Connect these days. The reason it might change is that the tools for lead generation in some of these communities is different than what they might be in residential. And the processes for lead generation are slightly different. So to make sure you get that lead generation model correct, come in with a little bit of, I don't know what I don't know. Train with that community first on what do they recommend as the lead generation model based on your goal, and then finalize your lead generation model from there. You might have one that works amazing inside your residential business. Absolutely brilliant. But when you try to copy and paste it into a niche practice, it might not do the same thing you think it would. In commercial, for example, sometimes you guys use things like dialers. You use things that are like automated calling systems and ISAs. In the commercial space, much of that falls apart because the person that shows up on the dialer could be the tenant. It might be the property management company. And so then I get drugged sideways. I've got to actually go in and skip trace every single owner for every single property that I want to be in relationship with. The database building and the lead gen funnel just look a little bit different. Same is true for land. For sports and entertainment, if I'm calling a celebrity or a high net worth athlete, I'm probably not going to put an ISA on that call. Would you guys agree with that? We want to think through these funnels to get the highest and best result. And so learn from the community before you just deploy what's already working in your business. That might not be the best path in this specific community. All right. Now, once you get through all of those things, you're going to have your GPS, you have a clear goal, you've got your 4 models, then you're ready to go. Now it's just about holding it accountable. By default that you're on this call today, you probably already have a MAPS coach. If you don't, this is something that you would want to get a MAPS coach to help you grow and groom inside your business. Intentionality and purpose alongside a community could create an additional 6 or 7 figure income stream inside your business in 2023. What won't create that through communities is just jumping into 5 or 6 of them at once and then not having a plan for how you will create revenue and profit out of those. All right, we got about 15 minutes left. I'm going to take some questions that you guys have, and I'd love to hear, what are you thinking you're going to go build in your business in 2023? Brenda, what you thinking?
One of the things that I didn't talk about as it relates to diversity and inclusion, it will help me see what biases I have that would stop me from talking to a certain person or a certain group, or thinking that I may have some value to add to that particular person or group.
Yeah, that's huge. I don't know about you guys. You ever had, I've had a few limiting beliefs along the way around who I could call and who I couldn't call, who I could prospect a business for and who I couldn't. And so that training doesn't only help us look out in the world and see things differently for who we can help, but it also helps us look out in the world and see what's our true potential. Where are we telling ourselves no that could easily be a yes if we just opened up our mindset of like, they're just people at the end of the day and it's just real estate. It's not that like critical or crazy. Super doable. Love that. What else? Raise your hand for me or just chime in, I guess, if you're already in a membership or a community and this is helping you realize how to get more purposeful with it. Natalie, what's showing up for you?
What's showing up is I should lean further into the community and learn more of what I don't know so I can increase my returns.
Which one are you in right now?
Luxury.
That's awesome. So one of the things I would recommend to you guys, and hopefully a few other people on this call are having that aha, like I'm in a community, I could actually do something with this thing. I want you to pull out your growth plan for 2023. If you don't have one, it's okay. It's still 2022. We got time to build it. You're going to just decide for every month of the year, this is what, I'm going to focus on in my growth. It could be events that you're going to go to. It could be classes you're going to take. It could be books you're going to read. If you don't have the color of real estate and the unconscious bias of real estate on there, what a great time to get them on there. But if you're in a membership or you're going to join one, look at that growth plan and make sure you're including that on your growth plan. So Natalie, as you look at luxury, say, okay, here's when their symposiums are. I'm going to make sure I got myself there so that I'm in the room and benefiting from this community. Here's when the masterminds are. I'm going to make sure that I'm time blocking those and protecting them on my calendar. Because what happens sometimes is we don't do it proactively. So then the week it shows up, we're like, oh man, I wish I would have known about it. All of these communities already have their 2023 calendars delivered, visible, and accessible to their members, right? George, great question in the chat. How do you find a particular community? If you go to that communities link, I'm going to drop it one more time here in the chat. You can actually find all of the communities there. The homepage has all 13 of the current communities. And when you click on it, there's an individual page for each community. I saw a hand go up and then it went down. If you want to jump in and ask a question, I'm happy to share. Awesome.
Hey there.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, how are you?
Good, you?
Good. Yeah, no, I think some of my takeaways from what you were saying was just be more hyper focused is what I'm going to focus on, and intentional, right? So putting pen to paper and putting down some goals and actually being intentional. And if I'm going to go to 100 and so forth meetups in 1 year, I'm going to put that on paper, right? If I'm going to talk to so many people a week, I'm going to put that on paper. And I'm actually thinking of family reunion right now when you're talking about all this stuff, because I'm taking down some of these things and putting them into my notes and thinking like, oh my God, I can use this at family reunion. Like I can connect with some people at family reunion and be intentional about some of the things you were talking about.
I love that. Steven, what community are you in now?
I'm in, right now I'm in relocation.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a nugget that I've encouraged members in the commercial space to do for years, but I think it works for anybody. So in the commercial space, we have this event called ICSC. It's the International Council of Shopping Centers. And what happens is it's 2 times a year. Commercial agents will book meetings with large franchises, developers, builders, owners at this conference. I'll go, I've got 20 meetings over 3 days. And so I tell my commercial agents, I'm like, what if you treated Mega Camp and Family Reunion that same way? You went and looked out in the ecosphere, be it through social media or in your region, and you said, these are the 10 people inside KW that if I had a better relationship with, my business would thrive. My business would grow. They're doing something I want to be doing, or they know something I want to know, or I believe we're running in the same lane and we're stronger together than apart. And you preset those appointments. Guys, January is the great time to set those appointments to say, I'm going to be in Anaheim at Family Reunion. I want to take a 30-minute meeting with you about blank. I'm going to go to the commercial booth. I'll meet you there. Let's meet on Tuesday at 10. See you there. That could make this trip pay for itself pretty easily, in fact. And you could take it a step further. See, people book their own masterminds and events and things at Family Reunion, and it doesn't have to be an expensive, big to-do fanfare. You literally could get all of those 10 people together for a 2-hour mastermind in a hallway, at a booth, at a table. But it takes thinking about it beforehand versus getting to Anaheim and being like, oh, I should do all this. Do it beforehand so when you get there, your time is purposeful and intentional. And inside the communities is such a great place to flex that muscle. Do I have anyone in here? I know I've got a luxury member. Do I have any luxury land commercial members in here? A couple of you guys? See a couple of head nods. Those niches that are like real estate practices, planner, relocation, those are things leaders are excited to know about themselves. Many of our OPs, our team leaders, our regional investors and owners, our coaches are deeply investing in those niches. What if you just got them together and did a buyer symposium for them? You brought inventory for them to look at and you put some deals together while you're there. You have enough time to plan out making a moment around your niche at an event like Family Reunion or Mega Camp. and to really set yourself apart as one of the leaders and experts inside our organization. 180,000 agent organization, and you're one of the few that will show up and say, I'm the person that you want to talk to if you want to be in relocation for Florida, right? That's an easy thing. You create a free Eventbrite page, you send it out amongst social media. People will find themselves to it if it's the right fit for what they're looking for. And that's just a way that we make sure our niches, our communities are thriving inside our business. What other questions can I answer for you guys today that would help you be intentional, purposeful, and most importantly, profitable inside a community in 2023? All right, you guys, we are at 11:51. I'm going to give you back 8 or 9 minutes of your day. I'll hang out here for a few more minutes. I appreciate your time and energy to be here today. Hopefully you walk out of it with some clarity on how you make communities an intentional point inside your year in 2023. I'm going to drop my email and my phone number in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here as a resource for all things commercial real estate, and I hope you guys have a brilliant new year.
Well, if you're hanging out, I'll ask you a question.
I sure am. Let's go, Alex.
Well,
where are you based, man?
I am outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a team leader out here.
That's awesome.
So, I'm glad everybody's gone now, so I can ask a dumb question.
There are no dumb questions, just
you
vulnerable ones,
haven't heard it yet. So I never thought about using the budget model for individual things like you're saying on the GPS. Okay, so for example, we do a relocation type thing. So what kind of things am I looking at on the budget model that am I just looking to make sure I'm profitable? Am I breaking down every expense?
Yeah, how much revenue are you going to bring in, right? And then when you look at that revenue, what'll be the expenses that you're willing to take alongside it? And how do you hold them accountable to a certain measure of profit? Now in year one, you might say, okay, I'm gonna go lower profit than 40%. Because I'm building something. But if by the end of year two, you want to be at 40% profit, we'd probably still have salary around there. We'd probably still have lead generation. Occupancy, you may not need if you've already got the real estate, unless you're renting a cube for it or you're renting an office for it, right?
I see what you're saying. So we're going to go down. We'll break through each little.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is how, like, if you've got a business, and Alex, I would do this with all your megas, encourage them, specifically commercial. This is a year for megas to be building a commercial, a land, and a luxury silo if they don't already have them. But they need to make sure that it's not going to siphon off their profit from their residential, and that it's not going to shelter them from seeing blind spots in their residential business.
I like it. Okay.
If I can look at it, it would be like Coca-Cola putting all of their funds in one account. But if they know, I don't know if this is a real Coca-Cola product or not. If they know that Mountain Dew isn't making money, then they'll stop making as much Mountain Dew. But if that expense and that profit is commingled with Coke product, then they don't know what to turn off to stop the bleeding.
Gotcha.
So a separate budget model for a silo would be important.
That makes
both
sense.
for an agent and a market center. So
if I'm budgeting in going to commercial summits or whatever meetings, I put that in there. That'd be education or whatever.
On the commercial space. That's right.
Yeah, or whatever. Okay, for each single. I don't know why I never looked at it like that. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. Steven, you have a question too? See, that wasn't a dumb question, man. That was a great question.
Yeah, another question. So when you guys do commercial, I'm in residential, right? But I can do 1 through 4 units. So what if there's people on the commercial side that want to get rid of their 2 through 4 unit buildings because they want to get into something like bigger deals? How would we connect with commercial real estate agents to let them know I'm the go-to guy to help you with that duplex, that triplex, that fourplex, to help your client sell these other properties so they can get into the bigger portfolio, right? And so we can help them make that transfer into that next level for themselves, right? We want to help them go from selling these homes to the big stuff. I mean,
the 54 of y'all that hung in here for this are about to get like the biggest nugget of the day. You ready? Steven, where are you based?
I'm in California in the Bay Area.
Where at in the Bay Area?
In Walnut Creek. In Walnut Creek.
Are you in which office are you in? Walnut Creek's office?
Beverly's office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walnut Creek.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I would do. You have one of two paths. One, I'm going to give you the sweat equity path where you're going to do it yourself. You're going to go pull a database of 2 to 4 unit buildings in your market. There's a couple of paths you can do it. You can go to a title rep and say, I want you to give me a farm list of all the properties in these zip codes or this county that are 2 to 4 unit residential properties. Then you're going to reverse search the ownership of all of those, and you're just going to start lead generating to them and become the 2 to 4 unit specialist. There's a brand in Los Angeles. You can Google them. I would go look at them because they've done this very well. They are just the 2 to 4 unit specialists of Los Angeles, and all they sell is 2 to 4 unit buildings. They're residential agents, but they are beast mode at this. They're very good at it. I would look at their model as one to mimic and match if that's the path you want to go. Now, let's say, like, Alicia, I am not going to start lead generating for that. I don't know why you wouldn't want to, because those are higher price point buildings, and a ton of them are about to shake loose because we're in a shift. But you want to partner with someone who does it. You're going to go find the agent that's selling 5 units and above at a really high level. You're going to call Michael and Steven Pagonis. They're based out of Alameda, but they work your whole territory. They're multifamily titans. They're out of the Oakland office. They do a great job. And you would tell them, I'm your 2 to 4 unit guy. When you have properties come up that are 2 to 4 units and it's more than you guys can manage, I'd love to be your referral partner. Most commercial agents, though, will tip down in that 2 to 4 unit space. So I think you're better off building that database yourself and prospecting it. That's a niche, you guys. That is a specialization. Would I encourage you to also get into KW Commercial and do some training on the commercial side around that? Absolutely, because housing laws apply, understanding development trends that happen on 2 to 4 unit lots that are underdeveloped and how to evaluate that land. That's an important technique so that you can list those appropriately. And then how to market and list that 2 to 4 unit space like a multifamily broker versus a residential broker. Those are important techniques you're going to want to know. But I would pull a farm list. Title reps can get those to you anywhere across the country. And then you just reverse search the ownership for all of them. If you want a shortcut to that, there's a tool called Reonomy. You have to have it for a minimum of a year, and it's kind of expensive. It's like $400 a month, but it will give you all of those buildings plus all the other real estate in the world with phone numbers and contact information and how to talk to those owners. Obviously, make sure that you're DNC scrubbing everything and that we're being very respectful of people's wishes, not to be telemarketed to, but that would be how you work on understanding that inventory in that sector of your market. That's a 7-figure opportunity in itself.
Thank you for answering that.
Absolutely. All right, 2 more minutes, you guys. Any other questions? Anyone have exciting big New Year's Eve plans? I'm going to go to bed early. I have 4 young kids here in the house, so going to bed early sounds like a treat. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it for today. Thank you so much for your time joining us here today. Hopefully you guys get into one of these communities, you find a way to make it special and profitable inside your world. And I look forward to hearing and seeing all the success that you create alongside a community in your business in 2023.